Hello.
And welcome to the guide.
That was our James Bond villain entrance. You know, because he'd always spin around in the chair and like,
Pretty.
Hello, Mr. Bond.
Pretty intimidating.
I thought so. Welcome to the guide, game reviews from Christian Dudes. I'm Yo, that's Will, and we got a lot to cover today, so we're just going to dive right in.
Starting
Just
with,
like that.
with Lego Star Wars 3.
Lego Star Wars 3. It's pretty much like every other Lego game out there, with a few minor exceptions. One, it looks better than any other Lego game so far. The graphics are amazing. The lighting is really impressive, and lighting's actually a theme through a lot of these things that we're going to cover today. A lot of them used light really well.
Yes.
And so it looks absolutely amazing. It has a new kind of battlefield, not battlefield the game, but like large battlefields where you do combat that's almost like Command and Conquer strategy kind of game, which is really interesting to toss that in there, and it's a lot of fun. But it's pretty basic, so I don't think it's like Command and Conquer. It's super basic, like Lego games are.
It's a Lego game. If you've played a Lego game before, you'll know pretty much what to expect.
Right.
Just it'll look a little bit better. It almost looks like your real Legos.
It does. I mean, it really is that impressive. And there's a couple other new elements in there as well. A few downsides, though. The controls, I thought, were just a bit off. Sometimes trying to switch between characters, you push Y to jump between characters. It didn't respond very quickly, so the controls are not as tight as they need to be. So that was kind of disappointing. And then the hub world is so huge that it's easy to get lost. Like if you're trying to find a certain element, like create a character, or buy characters, or play the strategy battlefield kind of thing on your own with just someone else, it can be hard to find the places in the hub world where you can do those things, like a map, signs. I don't know. Would have been nice.
Something would be helpful.
Yeah, something to help out with that.
But it does a good job with the Clone Wars story.
Yeah, it really does. If you've watched the series, as Lego games always do, they make great use of the license that they're based on, and you'll have some really amusing scenes that call back to the show. And if you know the show, you'll find them more amusing than if you don't. But the games just have a certain charm for everybody.
It's fun to play, and it's always a great multiplayer game too. For at-home multiplayer, there's no online, but it's one of those where you split the screen, go old-fashioned, and actually share the gaming experience with the person next to you.
And Traveler's Tales actually doesn't want online co-op for that very reason. They feel it should be something that should be experienced like me and Will, sitting next to each other, buddies, having fun. So I'd give Lego Star Wars 5 out of 7. It's a great family game. There are a few things that detract from making it as good as it could be, and plus, there's that overall familiarity. Been there, done that. But kind of like Pokemon games, they're still fun, despite being very formulaic.
Yeah, it's always going to be something that's entertaining, something you can do. It's not something you have to concentrate too hard on.
Right.
Very easy game.
Also, it brings up a good discussion point, because you're building with Legos, and it brings up the topic of what are we building with our lives. The Bible tells us Christ is the foundation. We can build with like gold and precious stones and things that will last, things that are worthy, or with hay and straw, things that are less worthy. And in the end, the judgment, the fires of judgment will determine whether what we've built with our life is worthy for eternity. So it brings out a good talking point that you can bring up with your family as well. So
Totally.
moving on to Crysis 2, more light.
Wow, that's what you're going to say when you start playing Crysis 2.
Absolutely. The game is saturated in light. A lot of graphical showpieces are often like in caves, or they just... Really good-looking games don't use light the way Crysis 2 does.
Right, in Crysis 2, a lot of it is outside, where you have
New York,
the entire cityscape as your game level.
Yeah, it's amazing. It looks absolutely amazing.
Very good looking. The gameplay is pretty good. As far as the gameplay, the artificial intelligence of the computer, not the best.
Sometimes it's pretty dumb.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of run straight at you.
I'm going to run towards your gun. You're scared. I'm not sure I can pull the trigger before you get here. Other times the AI is really good, though.
But whether they're good or bad, they always look good.
Yeah, that's
doing
true.
what they do.
Look at that, which is always important. Look good at what you do.
Pretty extensive campaign. It'll take you a while, especially if you're doing it on the upper difficulties.
Like you are.
I'm trying it on hard, and I'm getting nowhere fast.
But that's part of the charm of the game. You really have to be more tactical in your approach.
Definitely. You have to take advantage of the suit that you have, whether you can use armor or your invisibility.
And your speed, and you can jump up. What I like is being able to jump up high. If you can get vertical on a lot of these maps, it gives you an advantage unless you're fighting the aliens who also go vertical, and I forget that sometimes.
Right.
And I get attacked from above. I'm like, oh, the alien guys can do that. I should have known. So I like the tactical approach to it, where you have a wide open space as opposed to most corridor shooters.
Yes.
And it's up to you to figure out how you're going to get through that space.
And if you're looking into Crysis 2, I'd recommend it for somebody who enjoys the campaign, because the multiplayer, like we covered earlier in the episode, it's not the best multiplayer. It's just kind of a mix of a few other games.
Right, and it's Halo meets Call of Duty, and it's enjoyable, but it's nothing special.
So overall, I would want to give Crysis 2 a 5 out of 7, just because it looks good and it plays good on the campaign. It'll keep you busy for a while, but there are some things that can be improved, definitely.
And also keep in mind, it is an M-rated game. It's more M-rated like Halo is M-rated,
right,
with a little bit more bad language, but not overly gory.
It's not too
or
graphic.
Gritty,
Yeah,
or really dark like Call of Duty Black Ops or Homefront. So, but it is still an M-rated game, so keep that in mind. And then the final thing we want to touch on is the Ten Commandments, re-released again
in Blu-ray.
On Blu-ray. Wow. It looks amazing on Blu-ray. Paramount Pictures did a fantastic job restoring this film for Blu-ray. It's the best it's ever looked, including the first day it was released.
Really?
I mean, it has to look better. It's just absolutely astounding how good the picture quality is.
And the thing that I think is so cool is when the first day it was released, 1956?
Yeah.
Everyone then was so amazed of how good it looked. So,
right. And it won for special effects, an Academy Award. And granted, in Blu-ray, the special effects a little less impressive because you can really see the matte paintings in the background.
Yeah.
And it kind of stands out. But it looks great. It sounds great. It's just an absolute fabulous restoration of an epic film, an iconic film.
Definitely.
Really. And one of the great things about watching this movie with my family is it generated a lot of discussion. Because a lot of the movie covers the 30 years that the Bible doesn't tell us about. From when he's found in the basket, then the Bible skips ahead to when he kills the Egyptian and has to flee.
Right.
Well, what happened in between there? And this movie has a lot of speculation on the possibilities. And we got a chance to talk about that as a family. Well, what do you think? Do you think this is possibly how it went down? Or do you think it was something different? And then even talking about how the movie changed a few things from the biblical story.
Right.
Because, they wanted to make a good movie. So, of course, things have to change, but you can talk about, was that a good change? Should we even bother changing the biblical story just to tell something better in a visual medium? So, it generated, I was surprised, really, at how much good conversation. My kids are 5 and 8, and yet they really got interested in talking about this biblical story.
Which, I think that's something that that a lot of people, a lot of families could experience. It's not just a great movie telling a story, but it's also a great kind of tool for families to come together and to learn, to discuss, and be entertained. All in the same package.
It brings the Bible alive, and it's granted the film itself. There are parts where it's kind of melodramatic and cheesy. It's a product of the 50s. A lot of the epics back then were like that.
You have to keep into account, it's not a brand new movie. It's from the 50s.
And I'm kind of glad it isn't.
Like it.
Because I was thinking about how, if we were to reboot it today, it'd probably be a lot more gritty.
I think it would be
dark.
Awful.
Yeah, there's something about, I think it was in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
To be made the way that it was. And I'm glad it is the film that it is because of how it treats the material, the sincerity of Cecil B. DeMille in wanting to tell a story worthy of the biblical epic, saying this is just good drama. It doesn't matter that it's a Bible story. It's just good drama.
Right.
We just want to tell a great dramatic story, and they use the Bible to. And today, I really don't think we have a culture or society or a film industry that would be interested in doing it quite the same way that they did. So I hope it never gets rebooted because I agree. I don't think it'd be good. Right. I don't think it'd be good at all. I'd give the film itself a 5 out of 7 just because there are some things about it where you're kind of like, that was pretty silly.
Right.
However, the collector's set and the way it looks on Blu-ray, absolutely 7 out of 7. It is an astounding package. It looks better than
really
ever.
Is. And it comes with so many extras, like you saw in our unboxing video.
Yeah, we showed you all about that. So it looks absolutely fantastic. So, whew, man, we went through a lot.
I think, we just
blew through all that stuff.
The next episode, we're going to be doing a compare and contrast of the 3DS to the older, just original DS.
And Will give his full review of the 3DS, let you know whether or not it's worth your $250.
My thumbs have been busy.
Hey, that's what we're here to do. Help you guys out. And if you want to read more full reviews and news and interviews, check out HollywoodJesus.com.
There you go.
Got it.
We'll see you next time.